Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Chris and welcome to Path to Wellness. Today's video, I'm going to tell you how to start a plant-based diet. So first of all, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you click the subscribe button and you check the bell so you're notified of all my new videos. And I really do appreciate that. So for anyone new to my channel, I've been eating plant-based for about 8 years, getting close to 9 years. And I also am a big believer in intermittent fasting, so I practice that as well. But this video is going to be specifically on how to get started on a plant-based lifestyle, a plant-based diet, which I highly recommend to everyone. So, the first thing that got me started was this movie right here, Forks Over Knives. I believe you can find this on Netflix, or at least you used to, but just look around for it. I'm sure you can find it online. This is a great documentary, and this really got me interested when I watched this. This came out in 2011. I think I watched it in 2012 or so, and that really got me going. The movie has some great stories about how people were able to reverse some chronic health issues with a plant-based diet. So that really got me interested, because before that, I pretty much thought that, people just got hit with diseases and there was nothing much they could do about it. So I really got excited. Some other documentaries I recommend is Cowspiracy. This is a great one. There's What the Health, have that DVD as well. And Earthlings. So this Earthlings is more about the treatment of the animals. Another great one is The Game Changers. That one I'm sure you can find on Netflix, or just search around for it online. But that's another great documentary I recommend watching. That's about athletes and how they've improved their performance by switching to a plant-based diet. Now, some books I'm going to show you is How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger. This is a great book on all the different nutritional aspects of a plant-based diet. There is The China Study by Dr. T. Colin Campbell. I recommend this one as well. This was one of the earlier books that I read, and I'm actually certified in plant-based nutrition from Cornell. That's under Dr. Colin Campbell's program. So I got that certification, and actually this may have been the first book I read, in fact. This is Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn Jr. So this is one of the great books. I recommend checking that out as well. There's a lot of other good books and movies, but those are some of my favorite ones right there. So I get started by watching those documentaries and reading those books. Okay, so from there, basically there's a couple of different ways to do it. I recommend, as many whole foods as possible. I am a big believer in fruits and vegetables, especially fruit and greens, primarily, I should say. So fruits and greens, nuts and seeds, add in some starch-based foods if you like that as well, like rice and beans, oatmeal, potatoes, things like that. Depending on where you're at, depending on your health level, and depending on what foods you can handle, it's going to kind of depend on the direction you want to go, because there's a lot of different ways to do a plant-based diet. But the way I do it is a lot of fruit, greens, nuts and seeds, and some starch foods as well. So that works for me, kind of a good balance. And I do practice intermittent fasting, so I'm having all my food in a window of time each day, and I fast each day. And that just varies depending on the day. You can see all my other videos to see exactly what I do. But generally, a lot of times I'll do maybe a 6-hour eating window, where I eat between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., or I might do one meal a day here and there, do a longer fast, maybe throw in a 48-hour fast every once in a while. It just varies. But I do recommend intermittent fasting as well. So what you can do if you're you can do a transition if you want to a plant-based diet, and here's one way you could do it. The first month, you can just remove one thing. So let's say for the first month, you can just remove dairy and still eat meat, eat whatever else, but just remove dairy the first month. The second month, maybe you remove the processed foods, like try to remove the junk foods, whether or not they're plant-based, whatever, just remove the junk foods. The third month, then you can start cutting the meat down to a few days a week. So you have a few days a week that are completely plant-based, and a few days a week you still eat meat. And then maybe the fourth month, you remove the meat. So it's getting rid of the dairy, the meat, and the junk foods. You can pretty much do it in 4 months if you want to, or you can just try to do it overnight. The one thing I recommend is if you're not used to eating a lot of fiber, because plant foods have fiber, animal foods and processed foods don't generally. Processed foods don't. So if you start eating a lot of fiber when you're not used to it, it may be tough for your body to handle that. So in that situation, maybe you want to just do a transition where you add in more fiber gradually. So I know that I eat quite a bit of fiber in my diet because of the large amount of fruits and vegetables and the whole plant food. So that's something to keep in mind. So anyway, just some tips on how to get started, some books you can read, some movies I recommend watching, and doing a transition 1 month at a time. Now what I'm going to be showing you is what I ate recently in a day. I'm doing a lot of these what I ate in a day videos to give you some examples. And I do a lot of juice. I do big smoothies, salads, vegetable soups, oatmeal, peanut butter sandwiches, things like that. So in this example, I started eating around 12 or 1 o'clock. I'll show you what I ate, and I finished eating around 7 p.m. So it was a 6 or 7 hour window, which is very easy to do. You just skip breakfast and you don't eat until lunch. If you want to go till 1 or 2 o'clock, you just push out your lunch a little bit. And I also like to work out fasted. So before I ate, I did a fasted full body strength training workout, which is something else I recommend. So here it is. And by the way, real quick before I show you what I ate, I'm going to show you that if you eat a plant-based diet, you're not going to get weak. You can definitely maintain and grow muscle. I'm almost 42 years old, and I think I'm stronger and in better shape than I've ever been in my whole life. So don't let that be a reason, because you can definitely be strong on a plant-based diet. At 12:15, I started off with a liter of green juice, and this was cucumber, celery, and apple. That's a great combination. I highly recommend trying that out as a great way to start the day. Next, at 2 p.m., I put together my smoothie, and for this smoothie, I used 2 frozen ripe bananas. I used 3 tablespoons of soaked chia seeds. I used 2 cups of coconut water, 1 cup of mixed frozen berries, 2 tablespoons of the Marcus Roscrans green formula. Those are just powdered greens and herbs and plants and fruit. A tablespoon of the Marcus Roscrans Wild Force C formula. And those are just plants that are very high in vitamin C. So it's a great way to boost that immune system. And a couple of tablespoons of raw cacao powder for that chocolatey flavor. So this is a smoothie I've been making lately. I highly recommend that. Just whip that up in the blender. Super simple and very hydrating. Lots of nutrition. It fit in this liter bottle that I had. So it's a very easy and simple way. Next up at 3:30, I had a plum and I made a peanut butter banana sandwich on Dave's bread. That's my favorite bread that I like to use. I finished it out at 6:30 with a bowl of grapes and then 2 bowls of this veggie soup that I made. It had all kinds of great things in it. It had, celery, carrots, kale, onions, some spices, and it was really delicious. So I had that again, and that was at 6:30. And then just after that, I sliced up an apple. So that was it. Ended at about 7 p.m. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you give a thumbs up if you liked the video. Hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.